Hello and welcome to Smart Business Manager video series. In this very video, I'm going to show you exactly how to import, export, add, update and delete products, categories and shelf locations. So the first thing you want to do, this is usually the first thing that happens when you start using the software, the Smart Business software. So the first thing you have to ensure that you have to do is to categorize and name your categories and also name your shelves, right? So if you don't know how to name your shelves, you can simply just come to inventory, you go to under shelf locations and select shelf locations. Once you get to shelf locations, you just need to name the shelves. So what is shelf location? Shelf locations is simply where your products are. It might not necessarily be on a shelf, it could be in the fridge, it could be on a particular shelf, but the essence of naming these shelves are to make things easier for you. For instance, you appreciate it more when you watch other videos, especially when you want to take your stock, because especially for some persons that have very large stocks, they actually need to be able to segregate their shelves where these products are kept into different shelf numbers. So for instance, I could have a very big shop and I have about 5 different shelves, or I could have up to even 10 or 20 different shelves. So all I need to do is just to name the shelves. This anyhow you feel comfortable. Like for me, I could easily name my own shelf 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? Just call this shelf 1, shelf 2, like that. Some you can just name it as 1, or you can name it as A, whatever it is. So for instance, for this particular video, I'm going to name 3 shelves, right? I'm going to name 3 shelves and I'll call them shelf I'm going to call it shelf 1A, right? I can decide to add a description on, maybe these are where all my cosmetics are, or whatever it is. You can name it and save it, right? Click this save button. This is the save button and save. I could name another one and call it shelf B and save it. I could name another one shelf C and save it. So this, you can use either enter key or you can click this save button to save it. Now we have learned how to name our shelves. Let's look for how to edit the shelves. There might be a situation whereby you might need to edit the shelves that you have. So all you need to do is double click the one you want to achieve. Like here I have shelf called cosmetics and I don't want it, so I double click this, it appears here, right? And I want to change it to shelf D and I call it shelf D. Once I press enter, I said, are you sure to update this item? I say yes, it's been updated. You can see this, my shelf now is called shelf D. I can also decide to delete any shelf that I do not like. For instance, I have shelf I called Kate and service. I do not want them, so I could decide to delete this one by clicking it. There's a delete. This is a delete button. Note, anywhere you see in this software that you see this sign, know is to edit, and if you see this sign, you know is to delete. So I could just easily delete it. The computer asks me to verify if I want to delete, and I say yes, I delete it, and it's deleted. So guys, thank you for this. This is how to actually name your shelves, to edit it, and to also to delete it. You can decide to import it from a shelf, from a particular file. If you have a shelf already stored in a file, you can import it. If you want to export all of this we have, you can click this to export it. Now the next thing we are going to talk about is category. Remember, I said in this video we're going to do how to import, export, add, update and delete products, categories and shelf locations. Now we've talked about the shelves. I cannot talk about this product without talking about this category, right? So category is also another way to segregate, to filter your products into different categories. Now, for instance, I have a very, like say I run a pharmacy business, I have very large products too. I can decide to name my products into different categories like anti-hypertensive, anti-malaria also, or I could decide to name it based on the way they are being used or the way it is presented. I could name it my cosmetics, I could name it tablets, syrups, just whatever it is that you feel is very comfortable for you to easily do. But what is the essence of this shelf and this category is to make your products to be easily accessible. In terms of, for instance, if I want to do my stock taking, I could actually decide to click this stock taking and select a particular category I want to count, or I could select a particular shelf I want to count, right? So because it will know, for instance, it's very difficult for many persons to take their stock while they are still selling, so it's a very big avenue for you to actually segregate these products into that. And so we can just click this category just the same way we did it with shelf. Just name the category. I could call my own tablets, first one tablets, and I save. You can decide to add any description you like. I can decide to delete it, edit it by double clicking it, or by clicking this edit button, or I could decide to delete it by, once I click this delete button and it's deleted. So if you understand shelf very well, you understand that category is almost like it is the same thing. So we're going to move straight to where we are supposed to now add our products. Now these products that you sell could come in two forms. It could come as outright physical product, or it could come to in form of a service that you are running. For instance, you are using it for a hospital and you run a malaria test. Malaria test is not like a physical product, it's like a service that you run, right? So you can actually create products called malaria test. You can create products like consultation, like whatever it is you want to create. If it's not a physical one, you can also create it, but I'm going to show you exactly what to do. So the first thing we are going to do to add our products into this, we've created our shelves, we created our categories, is to click on this inventory. I can see this inventory contains everything that has to do with your product creation. So if you come to this inventory and go to product database, you're going to see a list of all the products in your system. So if you're using this system for the first time, you are likely going to see only one product here, right? You can actually just click it and delete it, right? But you can now see that I have a lot of products I've already stocked here. But to add a new product here, I have this button here called to edit, I have this one to add, and I have this one to delete. So if I click this add button, it takes me to where I can actually add this product. So like I said, I'm going to repeat myself. If I click this inventory, I go to this product database and I want to add products, I click this plus sign to add a product. Meanwhile, this plus has been brought out here because it's something that you are going to frequently be doing. So I now have those I took the decision to put it as a shortcut. So instead of you going to this route, you just click this product update. It takes you to the same place where you're going to add products. So for instance, I want to add this product, and the name of this product is LG TV 32 inches, right? So how do you name the product? This is very crucial. Ensure that you name your product in such a way that it will be very easy for somebody other than you to be able to identify. So I could call this LG TV, right? I could put a space LG television, but make sure that the person working with you can be able to understand and read meaning into that. That's first thing. Now for instance, I put LG television. It's not enough to just end it as LG television. There could be different forms and variants of the LG television. So I could put, like, this is 32 inches. I could put 32 inches and write inches. I could, if I have different products and I have different colors, for instance, I could say okay, black, blue, or red. You understand? So it's very important for you to name these products the way it will be very easy for any other person other than you that have entered it to be able to identify it. Next up is what I call the code. This code, the computer generates it automatically, so you don't need to worry about it, right? So this category, now you see the essence of this category. This category, you're going to actually select the category where this television belongs to. So if, for instance, I do not have any category yet where this television belongs to and I want to create it, there's this plus button, add button here. Once I click it, it takes me back to add, where I could add my LG television. So I could put it as televisions. I should create a category and call it televisions, where I'll have different kind of televisions, maybe different kinds. And once I click it and close it, I could come here and select the television as a category. The barcode, now if you notice what they call barcode is simply a code that is on the attached to every product, right? So you need a barcode scanner, or you could just type it, but it's very difficult to type it because it's usually very long. So what you need is a barcode scanner. To just, once you place your mouse cursor here and you plug your barcode scanner here and you scan it, it's going to actually appear here and save it for this particular product. So whenever you want to sell and you want to use barcode to sell, it will appear. But if you do not have a barcode and you do not wish to use barcode, that's very fine. Just leave this place empty. And then you come to shelf. Where is this product located? Now it's very possible you do not want to actually use this shelf or category. No problem. So that means you just create a default shelf and category where you just use that. Like for instance, for me, I want to put my LG television in shelf A and I'm going to select shelf A. The same thing if the product is not available, if the shelf is not available on your system, right, you just click this button to add new one. So reorder level, what does this mean? This simply means the order at which you are going to restock. Let's say for instance, I got a delivery of 50 pieces of LG television 32 inches black. Now I want the computer to notify me. I do not want it, I don't want a situation whereby my product will be at 0, my television will be at 0 before I reorder, right? So I will check it. Okay, so how long does it take me to get this product if I actually place an order on all that? So I'm going to calculate it, and based on that I could say okay, now that I have 50, but once I have 5 or once I have 10, I want to replace it, I want to reorder from my supplier. So based on that quantity that you want the computer to note as a minimum quantity you are going to have, we also call it minimum reorder level. You can now put that value as your reorder level. So let's say for instance it's going to be 5, I'll just put 5 here, right? If the product has an expiry date, maybe for television it might not have, but if a product like television or something you do not want, even if the product does not have, like for instance drugs have expiry dates, you can easily put it there, right? But for products that does not have expiry date, it's still very good for you to put an expiry date on it because you don't want those products to overstay on your shelf. So if you buy an LG television, I'm sure you do not want it to stay more than a year or 2. So the computer sets it at minimum of 1 year. You can see from today it's going to be 1 year from the day you entered it. So, and that's fine. So leave these two alone, like this. Service and active. Active means that this product is in use, but service now means, remember when I talked about service, for instance you offer some services. If this product you have created is in a form of service, it's not a physical product, then you click this select service button, and if it's not, you just leave it unticked. Then if you want to add a product picture, you can actually add it, but remember product pictures are very large and you could slow down your system. So in case you do not want that to happen and you are fine with just the name and all that, then you just leave this icon. And I'm going to save this. Click this by clicking save, and it said product added successfully. Once I click this, and that's all, I could easily add another product. I had to explain this thing, but once you get very used to this thing, you discover that it will not take you seconds to be able to add new products. and all that. So the next thing, I could search for any of those the products I've added. Let's say LG television. You can see it here, right here. That's the essence of this search button. I could actually still edit it by double clicking it, and I could delete it by clicking this delete button. Do I want to delete? No, I do not want to delete. And that is all for this. So thank you guys for watching.